I think that it's important to say that first off, I could not be more excited to work with the Shimane students. I grew up in a predominantly white high school, and Caucasians took up a good 90% of the demographic makeup. Even though I go to a college where I'm surrounded by different cultures, I still tend to not branch out and try things that are unfamiliar to myself. At first, when we discussed this project, I was excited to finally be able to interact with somebody and experience a different culture, but I also was nervous to go out of my comfort zone. Eating Chinese food and watching videos about cultures is honestly getting so boring, and I'm so excited and eager to interact with students of a completely different culture than I am used to. Not only will I be able to help the Shimane students with their projects, but they'll also be able to help me get insight into another culture. As far as group work goes, I personally think that I have more strategies than weaknesses. I'm very passionate about my ideas, and I speak freely about what I believe. I contribute ideas to the group, and I'm usually pretty good at building off of others' ideas. I also am extremely open minded, and I think that this is my biggest strength of all. It is so important in group projects for the members to be able to speak freely and share their ideas, and I think I really bring this to the table. As far as my weaknesses go, in the humblest way possible, I can't really think of that many. I think my biggest weakness is that I'm an extreme procrastinator. I've gotten better with all the stress of college and all the deadlines coming up so quickly, one after another, but I do sometimes tend to procrastinate occasionally. I don't think that I'll particularly procrastinate on this project because I'm going to be representing my culture to the Shimane students. I want to impress them. I don't want them to think that I'm lazy or anything, and I don't want that to negatively represent me, so I'm going to try to be on my best behavior. When I previously worked in a group to go to a homeless shelter, we worked together to get the best results for the people that were involved. We put our problems aside and did whatever would make the people that wanted to help the happiest. We came from lots of different backgrounds. We all had different ideas as to what we wanted to do. But we went to a women and children's center, and at that center, we kind of just did whatever we could to make the kids kind of forget about every bad thing in their life for that day. I plan to do this with the Shimane students as well, obviously under a different circumstance, but I want to help them see my culture and I want to learn from theirs through the process of this project. I'm really, really excited to see if there are differences between the cultures as far as the group work goes. As far as strategies for group work goes, I've definitely found some problems along the way. In high school, especially, we would divide into our work for the group in order to get the results done the fastest and to kind of just speed through the process of doing the project, which really defeats the purpose of the project altogether. In college, I found that it is important to work together as a group. And by working as a group, we can work through the problems together. We can get a better understanding of the project as a whole. In addition to a better understanding of the work, I think it's important to think about the long term and the long-term reasons behind group projects and the reason why teachers give us them at all in the first place. After these short 4 years at Michigan State University, we're going to be thrown into group projects with different people that we might not particularly get along with. Whether it's for a job, for a committee, for a club, we're going to be put in situations with people with whom we might not always agree. I think that it is important to get the skills needed to be able to defend your argument, portray reasoning in a civil way, even if you don't necessarily get along with the people that you're working with. I think that the most successful strategy in regards to group work is understanding that everybody does have a voice. It's important to hear everybody's point of view and ideas instead of having one person only portray their ideas for the whole group. Also, I think that it's important for everyone's ideas to be incorporated in the final project. Nobody should be shut down or made to feel like their ideas are not intelligent or important for the project because everybody does have something to contribute, no matter how big or small it might be. As I've previously stated, the main thing I'm looking forward to is being able to experience a different culture than mine. I've been very sheltered in regards to my interactions with people of different backgrounds and other cultures than I am. I'm excited to interact with them because in my future, my students will not all be from my cultural background or from the same cultural background. There will be language barriers and cultural barriers, and I want to bridge the gap and make them feel as comfortable as they possibly can be in my classroom. As a host for the Shimane students, I want them to feel as comfortable as possible. We grow up in a world that is full of people judging others for their culture or background or race or appearance or their accent or really anything, and the last thing that I want is for them to feel out of place or to feel uncomfortable. I want to hear their ideas and their stories, and I want to learn about their culture. I'm so interested in how their views might differ from mine, and I can only hope that they will be as open with me as I plan to be with them. At first, this project was extremely stressful, and I was super worried because I didn't know who I would be interviewing, and it almost seemed like a chore to me. But now, after being told about the Shimane students, I could not be more excited to work with them. I would say that my main concern is that we would simply run out of time or that I won't get to experience their culture as much as I wish that I could. But hey, maybe out of all of this, I'll get a really nice pen pal that I can visit if I ever go to Japan or that can stay with me if they ever want to return back here. Like I said, I tend to live a very routine life. Many of my friends that attend Michigan State University are people that I grew up with, and I have not branched out as much as I wish that I had. I planned on coming to this big school and making a ton of new friends immediately, but I realize that my comfort zone does not extend very far out of my childhood friends and a few new friends that I have made. I rarely step out of my comfort zone because I'm so used to doing things in a routine fashion and not really changing anything up. I think that I'm mainly excited to be out of my comfort zone with people from a different culture, and I think that the reason I'm so eager to do this is because it's something I'm so not used to. It's a completely new territory for me, and I'm really excited to kind of see what benefits it brings to my life and how it can completely change my mindset around. I'm hoping that out of all of this, I'll get to meet new people. I'll get to have a better understanding of what I want to do in the future when I come across people of different backgrounds. And I also hope that it'll allow me to be able to be more comfortable to step out of my comfort zone. I really just hope that this is something that I'm able to do more often after this.